then the rest is good. Then this where, so you arrange based on the highest term, right? Over here, I arrange based on the highest term. So omega x squared will not change, okay? So the next term is minus omega else x over 2. This term will disappear. So over here, this term, and this term over here, this term will disappear. Right? Because plus omega ax minus omega ax will disappear. Okay, so we have done this, we have done this, we have done this, we have done this. Okay, so I need to get rid of this expression over here. Okay, so I've done. Then you have the plus PA is still there. So I think I'll wipe this off. So plus PA. Then we have plus by omega LA over 2. Then over here, I will have minus omega A squared over 2 minus omega A squared over 2. Okay, then from here, plus by m as a function of x. Okay, let me check again. X squared, correct. I can wipe out omega ax minus omega lx over 2 plus by p over a. Okay, plus by omega l squared minus and plus. Okay, this is correct. Then from here, you will get m as a function of x. This will be equal to minus omega x squared over 2 plus by omega lx over 2 minus PA minus omega LA over 2 plus by omega A squared over 2. LX, I'm checking on my notes now. AL minus PA plus, yeah, this is correct. Okay. So once now you have this, you go back here. I will change this now. So this will be equal to minus omega x squared over 2 plus by omega lx over 2 minus by omega la over 2 plus by omega a squared over 2 plus by p over a. Okay. I'm now, yeah, just now I was not checking my notes, so I did make a mistake and Elzam was right. Okay, this is good. I'm happy now. So to sketch this, the most important thing is the highest polynomial, right? So coming back to over here, right, the highest polynomial, okay, so if the highest polynomial, so if I'm going to write an expression of m as a function of x is ax squared plus by bx plus c, when a is positive, you have smiling face, the highest polynomial. When a is negative, you have a what? Sad face. Okay. C over here is the what? It's PA. Can we get marks if we do a silly Azam, you can see how I mark the exam, right? Can you answer me how do I mark the exam or term test? Can you answer that?
Yeah, I see you give part marks, but I was
There
thinking
you
like
go.
for the
So
part marks, even for the part marks, give part marks. Do you get me?
no, it does not. Because once you make the mistake up there, right? I will change my Excel spreadsheet, right? And then you get full mark. Okay, so some of you might not know what is going on behind the scene. And I will show you what I have.
I think it's okay. I just don't want to take too much time right now.
No, I think it's a valid question that you're asking. And I don't want you all to worry about it because where is it? Hold on. Because you have not seen it. I every time I show this to students, you are the only kids that have not seen it yet. So I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so this is your piece number 7. Okay. And so let's say your student number is 571, for example. Okay. So if your student number is 666, let's not do the devil's number, 777. Okay, 777. Okay, so all this change. This might not be a good example. Quiz number 6. Okay, this is quiz number 6, and this is 777, for example. Okay, so over here, if let's say you calculate the center of circle wrong, okay, so you'll get 0 marks. So let's say you calculate as 10, for example. So I want you to see what will happen to the circle. You calculate as 10. Can you see the circle change? Right? You can see the circle shifted, yes or no? Right? So we'll mark based on, so the correct answer is actually 39. Okay, so the correct answer is actually 39. Okay. So now when you miscalculate, you miscalculate 10, okay, the numbers down here change, right? So you can see down there is 171, which is based on how you calculate, and this is 143, which is the exact answer. So we will give you full mark if you have 171.563. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you make silly mistakes like this, you still get full marks. But it has to be a cumulative valid answer. If this is not 171, then you will not get 1 mark again. Azam, does that make sense now? Got it, right? So that's why I say, even though you make silly mistakes, that's how we mark. That's how we get full mark. Wrong make P over A. Did I make another? Is something missing from P over A? Wrong make Patel. Where? It's PA and not P over A. Oh, you mean when I write over here? Oh yeah, okay. Squeezing and rushing. Omega A squared over 2 minus by PA. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So sorry about the sidetrack. Romik got it. Okay. So now we know that this expression over here will have a set face, right? We'll have a set face, right? So we are going to draw a set face. And because the distance is symmetry, okay, the set face will end here. Okay. So I'm going to now sketch the set face. Okay. So that's a set. And with that expression over there, we can also determine what is this peak value. okay, we can determine what's that peak value. Okay, so that peak value over there has to be at L/2. Yes or no? Okay, so L/2. Okay, so you have m as a function of x. Okay, now let me help you. Let me define mathematically why we know L/2 is at the peak mathematically first. Okay, let's do mathematically first. So we have this expression that m as a function of x is equal to minus omega x squared over 2 plus by omega lx over 2 minus by pa minus by omega LA over 2 plus by omega A squared over 2. Right? The peak will occur when what? Dm by dx is equal to 0. Okay, so you differentiate the equation, right? So dm over dx is equal to, differentiate this is minus omega x plus by omega L over 2. The rest got no x is equal to 0, right? So therefore, x is equal to L over 2. So mathematically, we know that the peak, right, is going to be at what? L over 2. Okay, so the next thing we do is we just substitute in. Okay, so we know that m at L over 2 is equal to minus omega over 2 L squared over 4, right? Plus by omega L over 2 multiplied by L over 2, then minus by PA minus by omega LA over 2 plus by omega A squared over 2. Okay, so this will come out to be minus omega L squared over 8 plus by omega L squared over 4 minus by PA minus by omega L A over 2 plus by omega A squared over 2. So this will be equal to 1/8. So it's positive omega L squared over 8 minus by PA minus by omega LA over 2 plus by omega A squared over 2. Okay. So you put the whole thing in there. Okay, so you put the expression. Now, don't worry, okay? In your exam, I will not give you such a complicated, the worst structure to form all this equation is overhanging beam. Okay, I will not be ridiculous to give you something like that. Okay, right? I will not be ridiculous to give you a overhanging, as I said, this overhanging beam has the worst equation. Okay, so I will teach you the most difficult thing. Usually in term test or exam, I'm going to give you simply supported and cantilever beam. Much easier. Okay, so don't like, oh, he's making mistake here, we're going to make mistake, we're going to lose marks. No, okay, I'm not that evil. Okay, I know how you think. Okay. So this is the peak. Okay, so this is the peak point. So the only way to check whether is this expression correct is when it's at L minus A, right? The bending moment must be at minus PA. Okay, so let's check then. Okay, so because you help me correct the expression, so we're going to substitute. Okay, we're going to substitute x is equal to L minus A. Okay, so you can do the same also when the expression is easier. Okay, you can do the same. Okay, so you check. Okay, doing your term test or exam, you can check. So you form this equation. So you put everything inside. So m L minus A. Okay, so minus omega L minus A squared over 2 plus by omega over 2 L minus A. Then you have minus PA minus omega LA over 2 plus by omega A squared over 2. Okay, so this will be minus omega over 2 L squared minus 2 LA plus by A squared, okay, plus by omega L squared over 2 minus by omega LA over 2, right? Omega minus by PA. So minus PA is the only term that we want to left standing, okay? Minus LA over 2 plus by omega A squared over 2, okay? So now you introduce everything in, minus omega L squared over 2 plus by omega LA minus by omega A squared over 2 plus by omega L squared over 2 minus by omega LA over 2 minus by PA minus by omega LA over 2 plus by omega A squared over 2. Okay. Okay. So now let's start cancelling. Okay. So we will, this is done with this. Okay. Omega LA plus omega LA minus omega LA minus omega LA. This is done. This is done. And no, not that one. Undo. Okay. This is done and this is done. And this is done. This is done. So this is equal to minus PA. Okay. So the equation is correct. So between, I believe all students have the same intelligence. Okay. The difference between a student getting A, B, C, or D is when you have methods to check whether your answer is right or wrong. Okay, so this is a method that's checking whether your answer is right or wrong. That is why for this term, those of you that fail, you learn something new. You learn how to correct your mistake. Okay, finding out where your mistake is not easy. Okay, so that is okay. So we are almost done. Okay, so it's minus PA like what I've shown. So now we are going to find at point C. Okay, at point C. Hey, oh, no one tell me it's break time. Okay, I'm shocked. Okay, let's take a 10 minutes break. We come back at 10:45. Thank you all so much. Okay, I did not realize that time is catching up so quickly. Go for a break. Come back at